Today, there are a lot of speculations, confusions around this part on quick commerce. So my question here is how to build the organic share on these quick commerce channels.
Quick commerce even right now is a demand fulfillment platform, as I mentioned. It's not a demand generation. Many
Right.
brands will organically be built just on quick commerce because they will be successful in identifying those micro categories wherein people are looking for stuff but not getting that. But I would say broadly, apart from your social media strategy or branding strategy outside of quick commerce, algorithms do prioritize SKUs wherein availability is predictable, wherein SKUs are continuously available in a certain location. Let's say if someone is searching for ice cream, and if a particular brand of ice cream is always available in that location, then algorithms will prioritize that over products with unpredictable availability. So as a brand, I would try to maintain predictability in terms of availability. Over time, algorithms start pushing my products organically on those keywords.
On platforms like Amazon, Flipkart, everyone tracks ROAS. Though ROAS is not the correct metric. Tacos, CTR, CPC, conversion rate is the main metric which takes you with a better organic share, tacos, best-selling rank. Is ROAS the success metric on quick commerce? If not, then what exactly is the success ad metric to track on quick commerce which needs to be tracked daily or even regularly?
So ROAS is, just to be clear, ROAS is a good metric in terms of just seeing your ad performance. But I do think that ROAS hides the incrementality of your ads. We have seen a lot of cases wherein a brand would just pause their campaigns for a stretch and their top line would not take a hit. So I would say there is no single metric which can help you measure that, because it's in a platform's interest to show you a higher ROAS so that you are, sort of pushed to spend more on ads, because you have that misconception that you are getting that organic. So I would say just to measure that incrementality, different brands try different strategies. Say one strategy which some of our partner brands try is an A/B test, which was successful with some of our partner brands, was running my same campaign on alternate days. There is an A/B test wherein MWF my campaign will run on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday it will not run. And maybe I'll try to measure that immediate push that some campaigns have. Maybe I'll try to compare my top line. Did my top line change when I didn't run the campaign? So what is the actual top line impact from that campaign? And if I pause it, does my top line actually take a hit? Another thing that brands would do is measure their organic SOV. If their organic SOV is already good on some keywords, then paid ads are just going to take credit from that organic SOV.
Deep dive more into this, because these quick commerce have come up with that point of running on alternate days, running at specific point of time, which Amazon, Flipkart never had that, as per different geography. So now all the bigger brands can maybe afford this, but when a brand has just entered, or it's been like a month, 2 months, or 3 months on the platform, would you suggest them to do the same? Because they are still on that discovery or awareness stage. They are still unlocking more and more cities and more dark stores as well. If their product is related to more FMCG and all, run more towards the weekend, run at night, don't run on the entire day. Would you suggest the same strategy to the brands within the first 90 days?
So I would say that's super important for brands to do that, especially in the early period when platforms are pressurizing you to, especially when you're an early brand. For incumbents, they might not get that push from the platforms. You have to spend on ads. And if I'm an early brand, if I'm getting that push from the platforms, then I might as well figure out the best way to get the ROI from those spends. That's the advantage that I, as a young brand, have, right? Unlike incumbents, wherein incumbents will take time to adopt these data-driven strategies, I have that edge. I can
do it
optimize, do it much faster.
Got it. Now, there's one problem which we've already been seeing with Amazon, the rising cost per click. We're seeing the same across these platforms as well. A year back, where I could see the CPM of 200, 300, 500, and now seeing somewhere close to 3,000 or 4,000 as well. Now you interacting with small, medium, all the marquee brands every day, sitting day in and day out on quick commerce, running a tool. What should a brand do at that point of time?
First is the eventual goal for me as a brand is to get my customers through ads and then build a solid retention, right? So that's the holy grail. If I am spending on ads, then I have to figure out that perfect mix of my MVP, my CPMs, and the kind of ROAS and incrementality I'm getting on the keyword. So I think it's all playing in that mix and just making sure that I'm not overspending on a CPM. If a CPM of 400 is enough for me to get that incrementality and that ROAS, then maybe spending on the suggested range is not necessary for me as a brand.
They are suggesting that's where spends are happening. 4,000 suggested, if I keep 500, hardly spends will happen.
We have seen these cases, Sunny, wherein, even if you keep your CPMs lower than that of the suggested CPMs, you will get a very healthy ROAS. Your spends will also be exhausted depending upon the budget for that campaign, and you will get a good rank.
When you said a point that my goal would be to get more and more customers through ads and think on how to build on retention, we see a lot of post videos regarding customer retention on Amazon. Amazon gives a lot of data. There are points like subscribe and save, through which the customer gets retained automatically on platforms like Amazon. How to retain customers on quick commerce? If there is a way, please feel free to shed light on that.
Yes, I think retention goes a lot on the type of product and is the customer love on your product. So I'll not touch on that part because that is something that brands have to solve.
Correct.
So apart from that, I think on quick commerce, the switching cost for a customer is not that high. Like if a
Right.
customer is trying to solve a problem, let's say I'm looking for a zero sugar ice cream, and if Go Zero is not available, then I'm willing to consider other options at that point of time.
Got it.
And this behavior might be different for different categories. But since quick commerce is impulse buying by design, a customer can switch to a different product because they need it in 10 minutes. So if your product is solid, backed by your solid execution strategy, wherein you are available, wherein a customer is looking for solving a particular problem, then I think that is something we can work on.